back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys, so I'm here today to talk to you about some anticipated releases that I have coming up for 2019, and I'm so excited about all of these. I've actually already done 2 videos which you can check out, which covers January through to mid-April, so I'll link them below. But this is going to be from mid-April through to mid-May, and I'm going to tell you about all the books I'm really looking forward to during that time. So let's just get started. As always, I'll tell you the dates that are release dates set by Amazon, and if they change then that's probably due to a publisher thing or something like that. So it does happen, but hopefully they won't change too much. Let's get started. So the first book I am so excited about because it is one of my all-time favourite authors, and it's the new book in her Planetfall series. This is Atlas Alone by Emma Newman. It is the 4th book in the Planetfall series, and this series is one of my all-time favourites, as I just said. Emma Newman as a writer is one of my favourites, and all of the books in this series have been superb so far. They really deal with emotional side of things as well as fantastical, super science fiction-y sides of things. So it's really, really fun. This follows a young woman called Dee who is on a spaceship fleeing from Earth, and she has suspicions about why the people on the ship are being kept in different small colonies. She meets a man who invites her to play a game in Immersive on the ship, and when she does, she kills someone in the game, and then someone who is close by on the ship actually dies, and he resembles the character that she killed in the game. So she gets quite worried and she tries to investigate what is going on this ship and why. And that is kind of the premise behind this one. So I'm super excited to pick this one up. It comes out on the 18th of April, and you know for sure I will be buying this as soon as I possibly can get my hands on it. Another one that actually comes out on the same day, and that is also a hugely anticipated release for me, is A Time of Blood, which is by John Gwynne. This is the sequel to A Time of Dread, and I loved A Time of Dread. I really enjoy the series and the world that this is all set in. The first one in this series is A Time of Dread, which was a follow-on from a previous series by this author, and that series is fantastic. This series is fantastic. That book was exceptionally good. I think I enjoyed it even more than the first series. It follows some of the descendants of the characters in that series, and it's just super. So I've been really anticipating this book as soon as I finished that first one. There was a huge cliffhanger, and I need to know what happens next. I really need to know. So this one I'm very, very excited to pick up when it comes out. Another one that I will quickly mention, although I can't give you too many details, is the new Jodie Taylor book, and that is Hope for the Best. This one is the 10th book in the series, and it follows investigators of St. Mary's, which is an organisation who can time travel, and they go back into the past to do research and find out what really happened. And we follow a main character called Max, or Maxwell. She is amazing. This character and this series is amazing, and I love it. But because it's the 10th book, I obviously can't give you more details than that. This book, however, comes out on the 25th of April, and you know I'm going to be buying this as soon as I possibly can because I love this series. It's so British and so funny. The next book is one I heard about because it's being translated by Ken Liu, who's one of my favourite authors, and this is Waste Tide by Chen Kuifan. This book is translated from Chinese, and it's a book about a young girl who is called Mimi and a couple of other characters. Mimi is a waste girl, hence the name of the book, and she has been toiling for many years on the isle where she lives as part of this big group of children and people who toil around trying to collect up things for their masters, who are the people who've been ruling this island for many generations, and she hopes one day that she will get her reward for toiling out in the day, but it doesn't look that likely. We then follow Lu Jingcheng, who is the head of one of the ruling clans of the Isle. We also have Scott Brandle, who is an American who's coming over to the Isle to kind of revolutionise the recycling that happens on there and how it's all done. And then we also have a Chinese American who is called Chen Kaizong, and he is there as Scott's interpreter or translator, but he's also there to find out about his heritage and what happened with previous family members. So it's all about recycling, technology, kind of a waste dumping ground, Asian inspired, loads of really cool stuff that I've not seen in most other books, and I think it's going to tick a lot of boxes if it's done well for me. So I hope I really enjoy this. I'm definitely keen to pick it up. If Ken Liu's translated it, I hope that means I'll love it, because most of what he's translated I've loved. So yeah, I'm excited to see what this one kind of holds in store for me. The next book I have to tell you guys about is called One Word Kill, and this is by Mark Lawrence. It's the start of a new series for him, and I believe it's a little bit of a fantastical D&D inspired story, maybe in a similar vein to like Stranger Things. It sounds a little bit similar from the blurb. We follow a 15-year-old boy who is called Nick, and he finds out at the start of the story that he is dying from a terminal disease. However, he also quickly realises that some other things are going on, and he gets a very cryptic message from someone about his friend Mia, a new girl who's joined his D&D group, and how she is in danger. So not only is he dealing with the fact that he's probably dying, he also then has to try and save Mia from whatever is trying to get her or threatening her. And it sounds like a pretty impossible challenge, but apparently Nick, our main character, is incredible and he has accepted the challenge. So I'm excited to see where on earth this wacky story is going to go. It sounds bizarre, but I'm really keen to check it out, and I'll of course let you guys know what I think when it is out. Next up is a release of a second book in a series, and this one is called Empire of Grass by Tad Williams. The first one in this series was The Witchwood Crown, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic and so good. Tad Williams is one of my favourite authors actually, and he's just started this new series I think last year or the year before, and I really enjoyed the first book in the series, and it's following on from his Austen Ard world. So if you've read those books, you'll know and recognise the world, but it's got different characters mostly. There are some crossover characters, and I really enjoyed this. Can't really tell you too much what it's about, but it is classic fantasy, so it's very much in that classic fantasy style of quests and adventures and madness, and I really liked it. So this one comes out on the 7th of May, and of course I will be picking up a copy. The next one on my list is also coming out on the 7th of May, and this one is so exciting to me because I had no idea till I started doing some research for these videos this was coming out, but I'm so excited. It's a new short story collection by Ted Chiang, who is the author of The Arrival and Stories of Your Life and Others. I loved that short story collection. I thought it was fantastic. I thought the story The Arrival was excellent, and also the film The Arrival was excellent. So in general, I've loved all his stuff I've read so far, and I had no idea he was working on another short story collection, but I'm so happy. This cover is beautiful. As always, he does quite simple covers, I think, but they're stunning. And this one is just all of his new stories, I think, since the previous collection, which is totally fine by me. He is for sure one of my favourite ever short story writers, so I would highly recommend checking his stories out if you haven't already. And this one, when it comes out on the 7th of May, is going to be straight up to the top of my TBR pile. Next up, I have a YA book, I believe, and this one is called Aurora Rising. It's written by Amie Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, who are the team who wrote Illuminae Files. I really enjoyed the first 2 Illuminae Files, but I never actually got to the third one. But I think they make a good writing team and they come up with quite fun ideas, so I'm intrigued enough to give this one a chance. This is set in the year 2380, and it follows the star pupil Tyler Jones, who is graduating from the Aurora Academy and being assigned his first missions. Tyler is ready to recruit his dream team, but actually he ends up with a load of misfits. But actually, besides his team of misfits, that's not his biggest problem. His biggest problem is a young girl who he's just rescued from cryosleep, and she has been trapped in cryosleep for over 2 centuries, so she is now a girl who is out of her depth and out of her time entirely. That one comes out on the 7th of May, and again, I'm intrigued enough to add it to this list, but I feel like that'll be one of those books where I wait for some of the reviews to come out before I definitely buy it, because I'm just not sure how good it's going to be. It sounds fun, but it might just be not as good as I hope. I don't know. And then the final one on my list for this video is A Brightness Long Ago. This is by Gavriel Kay. I read Children of Earth and Sky, I think it is, by him a while ago and really enjoyed it, and I've read a couple of his other books and enjoyed them, so I'm definitely keen to give this one a go. I believe this is set in a world inspired by Renaissance Italy. Gavriel Kay always does quite chunky books that focus a lot on characterization and world development. They do get often inspired by real world kind of past histories, and he definitely knows his stuff when it comes to inspired history, fantasy fiction, and I really enjoy what he does. He's very evocative and very descriptive in his stories, so they can be quite long, but I really enjoy them, and I think his characterization is excellent. So any new book he's going to bring out, I'll definitely add to my list. So that is everything for this video. Do let me know in the comments below if you guys are planning on picking any of these up, or if there's anything between these dates that I've missed that you're super excited about. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book then come back and chat with me again.